Who wants to get paid to buy properties and not take any of your own money to the closing table? My real estate attorney's check stub says excess cash to close, and I love me some excess cash. Always bring them a big check when you buy. But back to the question on credit. I've been borrowing private money from individuals, and I taught them all. I taught them all, and you can too. I say just duplicate my program as to what I teach. It seems to work pretty good. And none of them have ever asked to see my credit score because I'm back in that note with the real estate that I'm purchasing. So if the deal goes south, they're protected. And what do I mean by that? New real estate investors ask me all the time, Jay, who in the world's going to loan me money and I ain't never done a deal? Who is going to loan me money and I've never done a deal? Here's the answer. If you don't pay the private lender, the property does. What does that mean? What that means is if you don't hold up your end of the bargain, you're giving them a mortgage or deed of trust, then guess what? If you don't pay them, they get the property. Now, they don't want the property. That's why they are a passive private lender investor. They don't want to have to deal with the property. But nonetheless, if you don't pay them, they get the property. And we keep a 25% equity cushion to protect them. We don't borrow more than 75% of the after repaired value, which means they're going to be protected. If it's a $200,000 after repaired value house, we're not going to borrow more than $150,000. Now, I'll buy that house all day long for $100,000 if it needs maybe $30,000 in renovations. But again, they are protected. Your credit is never pulled.
You've answered so many of the questions that I know that people are interested in. You don't need credit. You don't need a license. So now I just need to know where to find these private lenders, Jay. We don't have phone books anymore. Do I need to Google these private lenders? How can I find these private lenders?
So there are three categories of where you find private lenders. The first category is what I call your warm market. These are people you already know. They're in your cell phone. You go to church with them. You're in the Rotary Club with them. You play golf with them. It's the people on a regular basis throughout your daily life. That's your warm market, okay? I call it relationship capital is what that is. The second category of where private lenders are, and by the way, those people in your warm market, they never heard of this world. That's why you got to put on your teacher hat, teach them about it. Second category of private lenders is what I call your expanded warm market. Because if you want to scale your business, sooner or later, you're going to run out of your list. You're going to run out of your connections sooner or later. So the expanded warm market is how do you grow your network of relationships and connections? And of course, we all know there's a direct correlation between your network and your net worth, right? And so I'll give you one tip right now. One of the fastest ways to grow your connections is join your local BNI, which stands for Business Networking International. My lands, even little old Morehead City, North Carolina, population 8,000 people where we live, started up a BNI, for goodness sakes, 15 years ago. With BNI, the purpose of that organization in your local chapter is all your other fellow members are selling you, are talking about you. And there truly is only one attorney, one realtor, one general contractor, one plumber, one electrician, one HVAC, one essential oil sales lady, if you know what I'm getting at. And so when you join BNI as the real estate investor, you're the only real estate investor in that group. And so you teach your fellow members about private money and who do you want to get in front of? You want to get in front of folks that are looking for high rates of return safely and securely. The third category of where you find private lenders are existing private lenders. They are individuals that are already loaning money out, already investing money with real estate investors. The challenge with that, though, is you're not going to put on your teacher hat. They already know what private money is. They're already lending money out, which means they might not be happy with your 8%. So now it's a negotiation conversation, and I don't want a negotiation conversation. I'd rather teach people what it is.